Gozaimasu. Good morning, good morning. How are we all doing? I gotta remember to talk into the camera over here. There's the knocking, yeah. You need some sort of little ritual. My eyes burning. I haven't had enough sleep, I think. I was working late. It's really not very good to be working late into the evening. All the lights, like artificial lights in your eyes all day. I gotta take better care of my eyes. So my eyes are a little bit this morning. How are we all doing? New block. Yeah. I'm not sure if I should be showing you this, but this is the work that's on the desk today. I said that maybe would be on the color blocks, and color blocks would be a little bit easier to. I wouldn't feel bad about showing you because you can't really get a gist of the whole image just from some of the color blocks, especially if they're like sort of random little patterns creating shadow and stuff. This is the Adolescento design, I think ninth one. So with the delays, this one is a little bit ahead, which means that it's actually spoiling a little bit, I guess. If you don't want to see the design at all, I'm not going to show you the full design, but we will be looking at the key lines, which gives you basically the design, not the finished image, but it shows you what the image is. If you don't want to see that, then maybe skip the stream, and we will be back to chipping away at the bonsai and a few other prints on Tuesday. We'll forget about it by the time it comes around. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, let's switch in. This is the block we're working on. I have done all the knife work. Last night I did the clearing and some of the marinomi. Yeah, there it is. Return to Earth, welcome in. Is that old wood? Yes, it is. This is some new wood on the back, which is very soft and like really strong grain pattern. And then this is a really old piece of wood. You can see from the color here that it's taken from an old block. The wood. Nice color. Yeah, it looks cool, but carving it is not as fun. It's more tricky to see the lines than a fresh piece of wood. It looks really lovely, like a nice aged. I like that antique-y sort of look. But for carving dark lines, you can't see the little details as well as you can in. I mean, these lines are not very thin or delicate in most places, so it's not a real big deal. But if I was carving something really fine and with a lot of like nuance in the brush, it would be a little tricky. So it's not ideal. The other thing about the wood is, I don't know, it cleared really nicely, it cleared really smoothly, but I have to keep sharpening my knife. It's like the top surface, it feels like. Underneath, it's not so hard. It's a bit of a strange thing about these antique wood blocks, like the repurposed ones. Sometimes they can be really quite hard on the surface, and I think that dulled my knives a lot. I kept sharpening, and I was taking it to like a high level because it felt like it was fighting me a lot. So I was getting like really, really sharp knives, but they just didn't seem to last. It always felt a little bit. So getting a lot of taste in it. I feel like I'm always complaining about wood, and maybe I shouldn't as much. But like this is the thing my hands are in contact with all day, every day, and so the nuance in the wood is like a really big aspect of my work, and a good piece of wood can make my work feel really nice and makes just makes my life more pleasant. But a piece of wood that like bites me a little bit or doesn't clear nicely, it just sort of takes a lot of the fun out of carving, to be honest. How old is the block? Sorry if I already no. I don't know the exact age. I think it was from a very old block set of like scripts, and it was plain down. This was an unused portion of the block, so it was like sliced off and then glued to this block. The lines will hold nicely, which is good, and I didn't have to work on it for that long. And I think the clearing should be okay on it, so that's pleasant. So it's like 2 days of solid like carving on it. So I'm only complaining about 2 days worth of work, but I don't know. I sometimes feel like, is this industry a little bit too gone? Like if I was just starting like some other people, not to do personal prints, but to become a professional printmaker, like in the traditional sense where you're just a carver, I think maybe. Even just in the last 5 years, the level of wood like I get to work with, it's kind of a bummer, you know. It really, really takes a lot of the enjoyment out of the work. I love doing what I do. I enjoy it. But that is a real big point of contention, and it like sort of it wears on you a little bit, always carving crap when you're used to. And I'd never had the really good wood, the wood they used to have in the olden days. Oh my god. Some of those key blocks there, fresh, brand new. So many people, you can pick and choose the best pieces. It must have been a thing to behold. But even in the 5 years, like, I've noticed a big difference from when I started to now. Let's get carving, and I'll keep the complaints to a minimum. So I start off like, good morning, everyone. Oh, have I wasted my life? Is it all gone? Let's get some music on. Starting with such a bummer. Sorry. Why is the wood not as good today? What contributes to the drop in quality? One is the amount of people who are making prints. It used to be a whole thriving industry, and it was not just obviously making art like it is nowadays. It was publishing, making books. Any printed matter was done in this medium, and there was hundreds of people wanting woodblocks, which meant there was a whole supply chain of people making woodblocks and institutional knowledge of how these are done and improvements. Now, today, there's not as many people, so the market's not as big, and people are looking to try and maintain, which is not as good. And at worst, they're trying to perhaps cut corners. But the main one is the institutional knowledge of all these people who just sort of went, there's no point training anyone. There's no market for it anymore, and so that knowledge is lost. Particularly in the communication between the people making the blocks and we're off camera a bit there, sorry. People making the blocks and the people sourcing the wood. You've probably heard about the case it used to be with like making the brushes, for example, how they used to get different horses. This is from this region at this time of the year. That type of stuff. It's hard-earned knowledge, and it's easily lost. And the same is the case for the wood blocks. The paper is a little bit different because it is used in other cases, but the wood is pretty specific to doing now. Dave mentioned you during his interview with the British Museum. He said that people who are invested in Mokoangan are crazy types. I haven't actually watched that yet. It was like at 1:30 here or something. I was going to watch it after the stream. Was it an actual conversation, or was it like last time where they were just in chat? Because last time I went in, there was another one about the video drop. It was just the people were in the chat chatting. Was this like a proper interview? Or was it just dropping another video and they were in chat? I've never considered the hair from different horses in different regions having an impact on the quality of the brushes. It's kind of fascinating. Yeah, it's a massive topic. Each printer sort of has preferences for different types of blocks. You want slightly stiffer, slightly softer brushes. And so, yeah, if a horse hair was collected in the winter, I think the hairs are typically a little heartier and a bit thicker, and so the brushes are more stiff. And what they'd do is they would make sort of composites. They'd collect, mix and match a bit of winter from Hokkaido, a bit of Aomori, autumn, maybe something like that. I don't know all the specifics of that, but they used to mix and match and make blends. And they did also communicate with the printers, like some printers like a slightly longer brush hair, others like a really short one. And there's also different use cases, so you'll have a mix and a variety of these. An interview with a discussion at the end. A proper interview. Nice, nice, nice. I'm excited to look at that. What did he say? People invested in Mokohanga are crazy type people. Well, I said something similar in a past stream, right? About carvers being all a little bit odd. There are also the type that just, I think a lot of the younger Kumeyaay people are maybe like the feeling is a little bit different. They enjoy it, but like it's not a passion maybe that they're gonna die on a hill for. It's a job. And for us who come from overseas and get involved in this, very often it seems to be, with Japanese word for it would be ikigai, ne? Like where passion and it translates as your reason for being, meaning of life for you, more than just a vocation. It's the reason for you getting out of bed, and that's sort of what it becomes for people who come at this. It's interesting. We could get into a really kind of deep conversation about this. I'm not sure today is the morning for that, but I've been reading some Gabor Mate, The Myth of Normal. I kind of like him, and this conversation is sort of branching into those topics, but it's a bit of a big topic to get in this morning on a sleepy brain and tired eyes. Maybe not today, but come back to that. I do want to discuss that. I've got some thoughts. This one's a tiny chisel. I think this is my second smallest. I have one smaller than that. Where's my smallest? That's my smallest one. Like an actual chisel, not a pick. This is... I think actually the blades are the same. The difference is with this one and this one, I have... Maybe this one is slightly smaller, but I have shaved the sides down. I'm not going to... You can see here, the black there. I've shaved the sides down to have a sort of point. There, you can see it. Super useful. The grain direction is this way. It seems to be a bit different. This side kind of wants to go... No, this side is this way, and then the other side, it wants to go up. So there's a little bit of a change towards this side of the block around here. Yeah. And you get to actually see the block as I usually do it. It's a bit late. I should have cleared that out, so sore spot. So typically with the U-gouges, this is about where I take it. I get the big U-gouges, then I get the smaller U-gouges, as in still a hammer one, a smaller U-gouge, and then I clear it, and then I get the small hand U-gouges out, and I get all these spots. These are a little bit thin to get a U-gouge in these ones, but everything else, you see I've like poked out all the little bits. Makes it easier and safer. I maybe could have got a U-gouge in there. Let's do that bit as well. I felt a little bit bad about the bonsai one. I sort of haven't had time to work on it, and so I just cleared it really quickly, and I've left a bunch of spots like that, and it's actually a lot faffier to do the ice ski work on it. Need my brush here as well. May have a drink of coffee. How are we all doing? It's Friday here. How much longer are the blocks from the prints? Like around an inch in each dimension. How much? Oh, larger, sorry. How much larger? So you can see the registration here. I think it's like 0.6 for this one. So there's border of 0.6 around it, and that's just plain white paper. But the black line border here is defining the area, the colored area. So you got like 12 mil each side. Need a small chisel here. Looks like a mirage waterfall. I won't confirm or deny anything. Small chisel. Looks like floating island rocks seen from a below bridge. Reminds me of a Hogside print. Are you talking about one of the ones from the famous 8 bridges? I think I know the one you're talking about. In fact, I reproduced that one as my first major QA. The suspension bridge from Hogside. Is that the one you're thinking of? I kind of get those vibes. Classic one. Yeah, I really love that print. I have so many prints that like I'd like to make, that it's like a little bit, there's just not enough time. I've got to really be conservative with like the projects I choose, because it takes a long time to make. Like, how many prints can I make in a year type thing? Where is my energy best spent? But I'd like to remake that one, I think. Maybe as a, I've got a couple of, I keep adding to the list of like 10-year projects so that I can show a sort of growth. But maybe that would be a good one to do as a 10th year. Recreate that one I made as my first Orban. Let's look at this. Oh, this is the one you're thinking. Oh, okay. Okay. He had a thing with bridges. Mm-mm. It's a nice print. Wonder what the colours would look like on that when it was original. The old pigments are incredibly fugitive. I think I should just be safe. Hello, Willie. Thank you for the subscription. Wow. Arigato. Arigato gozaimasu. Get you that started. どこ?
とてもサンキュー。
Not on camera. Jesus. I gotta get better at this. Where is my Angie Drishti? There. Okay. I gotta get some new mats. This one underneath here. It's really not grippy anymore. I gotta get a new roll. You can also see I'm using a really big wide one. Usually I have them just like slightly bigger than the mat I have. I cut them in a bunch of typical block sizes. But it was quite a while ago I bought these. This is the last piece. So I think it's about time I get down to some sort of hardware store, buy some new ones. Funny pattern has occurred with these streams that I'm noticing this morning as well. The time slot I thought would be the most popular, which is this stream. I thought this would be the best one for most viewers, given that most of the viewers are in the Americas or thereabouts, that side of the world. I thought this stream would be the main one, and then I'd lose most of these viewers on the evening ones. But I've been doing it for a couple months now, and it seems that the other stream has an average, like a bunch more people than this one, which is really surprising to me. And I'm not sure if that's that the other one is a better time, or that I've been really consistent on that one, and this time I've missed a couple streams. I didn't. What time is it? As Thursday evening. What time is it in the US Thursday evening? I was really trying to pass that sentence. What time is us? I guess so. Thursday evening seems about right. For me, it's Friday morning. Could be day of the week related to. I always see lots of people live on Thursday. On Thursday nights. Yeah, but the thing is, it's going. You mean because it's Thursday evening there now, right? That should work in my favor, not against. Friday and Saturday, the exact same. Interesting. 6 p.m. West Coast. I'm still trying to think about a third stream. I feel like after is it the Friday stream? After this one, it always feels a long time until my next stream. Unfortunately, there's an odd number of days in the week, so I can't space it perfectly. It'd be nice if I could do like a stream every 2 days, but that would get so chaotic for me, like figuring out. But that would sort of be the ideal, every 2 or 3 days. Or should I be doing it a lot more and just like make these streams more casual and get it would feel a lot I would improve at streaming a lot quicker if that was the case. Like if I was doing it every day or every other day. I think every day was probably too much. But if it was every other day, I think we could probably grow this. So if you have any suggestions for any other days that we could stream on, I'm looking for a third stream. Let's get inside then. Maybe poll folks to get the NA options. That's a good idea. Yeah. I'm not going to do it now because last stream was interesting, you know. It was like it wasn't a mess, but it just felt like a mildly chaotic stream, and I don't understand why. Definitely not one of the better ones. Maybe you guys enjoy those, the frantic nature of me like slowly unraveling in a very mild sense. Maybe that's entertaining, but watching someone have a very mild breakdown. I don't think it was all that bad, but there was that sort of air to it. It's my set. My setup really isn't as good as it could be. Dan Scotch, get a D7. Let the dice gods decide. The question there would be, well, it's no question for me. Ad break. Sorry. One of these days we'll get on it. I'll give you just the right amount of notice, and then I'll realize when the ads have started. Welcome back. The question is, do the days of the week start on a Monday or a Sunday? I guess most of you are Americans, so there's only going to be one answer here. Which is probably opposite to mine. We were collectively ribbing you more than usual last stream. It's not that. I actually really enjoy that. Do you know what would be really good? Like, I've set up a thing in the Discord so I can do this in the future. Like, I've got a voice channel in there that I can throw into the stream. And I'd really like to have, like, somebody to bounce off every now and again. Like, contact one of my friends in the UK. Like, maybe probably unrelated to printmaking, just to, like, chat. Off camera. I like the current schedule arrangement. You think twice a week is enough? Let's move on. Speaking of stream ideas, I do have another idea. Monday is a suggestion. Day and night stream. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that was the thought. I think it's okay. But in terms of growing the stream, I think more would probably be better. The night streams are a little inconvenient, but I'm sort of okay with that. It's a little difficult on my partner, I think. She tends to go to bed a little bit later because she doesn't want to make any sound, any like banging noises and stuff, getting ready for the next day. So she usually tends to go to bed a little bit later when I'm streaming, which I'm not really a fan of. Like being culpable for less sleep for her. It shouldn't make a big difference though. I think we'll reach a nice balance. I'm able to make current streams usually, might not be able to make others, but of course, choice is good. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, it's sort of relieving that you guys, well, at least a couple of you, seem to have the consensus that the current number is nice. So that's good information. I don't feel like I have to like quickly get on and change this now. Unless the night stream is too rush when you have to help in the kitchen after dinner. Well, no, I do try and do the dishes before the stream. But if I've had a really busy day or something, and I'm already tired before the stream, or I have lots of setup to do, and sometimes I'll do it after, which means I go to bed a little bit late, or Ayana ends up doing it, which is she's already doing a lot because I'm doing an evening job as well as a usual day work. More is nice if it also helps you focus. More is nice if it also will also help you focus on carving more. No, I carve much less when I'm streaming. Much less. I have no problem with focusing. I'm actually actively trying to carve less. I have workaholism and probably quite an unhealthy relationship with carving, considering the amount I do. And I'm actively trying to rebalance my life, trying to put more into relationships and my son. So I don't need I don't need help doing more carving, to be honest. That's the last thing I need. I don't mind doing night stream, just have to remember what stream day is my time. But are you in the Discord? If you're in the Discord, you don't have to chat and stuff in the Discord, but if you set the notifications, or even just set the notification on the Twitch if you have the app, you don't have to watch on the app, but you'll get the notifications through there. Also, to answer the tuna question, What's the tuna question? I'm looking up to find the tuna question. Is bath in olive oil Jamie Oliver favorite extra virgin olive oil? I have no idea what you guys are chatting about. For the first few weeks, I had the same issue. More than a few times I turned up at 9:30 Tuesday, got confused. The tuna question was from Dave's stream. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. I will be doing one stream, like a bonus stream at some point. When I feel really settled, I'll do a bonus stream just after one of Dave's streams on Thursday, I guess. So we can get some raids. he offered that. He did something similar with Sensei Martian and managed to get him a bunch of extra like interest. And now I think a lot of those people are now permanent viewers. So I will do that at some point. I'll do like a Thursday 9:30 stream, which is my standard time. It actually works out really well. It's almost like someone planned his stream schedule well. I believe that was last Thursday. I have no idea. Maybe that is an idea, like just doing bonus streams every now and again, then I don't feel obligated. And for you guys, I'm not skipping streams if I have to do something, or like if it's difficult. 2 days is easy to sort of schedule around, and then other days, if and when I feel like it, there'll probably be less people because you're not ready and you're not scheduled and clued in on when they're going to come. But I think that's a good way forward as well. Just do a bunch of bonus streams, test at different times, and we can see what people are feeling instead of. I'll do a poll as well. That's also a good suggestion. Totally missed the tuning question. I like the Gorilla Thursday stream. Yeah, me too. It was fun. I think I'll maybe make a new channel in the Discord for song suggestions to add to my stream playlist. I know there's a few people who are into jazz. I'll give them a listen, and then if I like them, I'll add them in. The current playlist, I just sort of, well, I said last stream that I threw a bunch of songs into a thing. So there's probably a few in here that are a little bit odd. And there's a few songs that I first was introduced to by Fallout. Did anyone else here play any of the Fallout games? That was my first introduction, and I really liked the soundtrack from that game. And then I started listening to those songs, and then that sort of got me into the ink spots. That sort of got me into listening to some more jazz and built my love for Billie Holiday. The ink spots as well, classic. Fallout 3 was the first one I played. I haven't played games really in years, but Fallout and Skyrim were the games I spent the most time playing. I was never a really big gamer, but I really enjoyed Bethesda games. So there's a few songs in this playlist that are straight from that. Been to any jazz clubs in the Tokyo area? Yeah, I used to frequent a really good one. I used to live in Koenji, which is really close to. Well, it's not so far from Kichijoji, which is kind of a hit place on the west. Most of my time in Japan was actually spent mostly on the west side, down the Chuo line. And when I lived in Koenji, I used to frequent a bar called Sometimes, Kichijoji. And it's fantastic. It's one of the best. Koenji Taisho is a really nice place to have dinner. Citrong, thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Do we do this after every stream? Is this new? after every sub. Oh, I can't say thank you. It's limited to one per person every day. Apparently those limits call for me. Thank you, Zitron. ありがとう。
とてもサンキュー。
ありがとうございます。
とてもサンキュー。
Wow, everyone's gonna waste their one shot now. That might be a nice way for everyone to cheer for people who sub. Maybe we can do a fastest finger first. I can put a timer of like a minute that you can't use it for 1 minute after it's used. So the fastest finger first to get the thank you into the new sub. That might be a fun game. Everyone lurking and not watching the stream, just listening. Quickly run to their phone or their PC. Walk 2, thank you so much. Who's gonna be fastest? I haven't got any more thank yous. We've got a hype train going. Wow. とてもサンキュー。
とてもサンキュー。
Oh, lost for words, got it. ありがとう。Should I do the Hassan Abi? Start dropping ads and debating you for
とてもサンキュー。
ありがとう。Maybe we need a new emote as well. Like new chatters, maybe like a little welcome in or some sort of emote for new followers and new subs. Wow, you can tell I'm sleepy because I'm like jumping all over the place. I'm carving this rock. I grab a new tool and I'm over here again. There's no focus and persistence on these lines. So here we go with a bit of accountability now. I've been sitting down a lot and it's too hot and I haven't been running. And I basically haven't been doing exercise. I've been trying to eat well. I have like a salad, chickpeas or whatever for lunch. But I haven't been moving enough. And so this week I've started to get back on it. I'm doing yoga every day because my body's been hurting. I've done yoga every day this week, and that's going to continue for the foreseeable future. Keep me honest. We can maybe do a little check-in. Bicycling, not really. I like to go biking with Ayana. It's a little bit hot to put him. We've got a baby seat now. But it's a little bit hot to take him unless we go for evenings, and then that doesn't work time-wise. So we have to leave him with Baba, the grandmother. She often does events and stuff on the weekends, so cycling's a little bit tricky with the little one. But I'm doing on my lunch break little 30-minute level 1 completed. Wow. You don't have to give bits. Thank you so much. ありがとう。すごい。New record, level 2 hype train. You need a weight, a spreadsheet chart like Dave. That would keep me honest. That would. Instead of like setting a goal I have a weight, an ideal weight I want to get down to. Instead of like doing it all for goal, I'm trying to change fundamental systems like arigato, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Chicken Meister. Wow, bits. Party 100. I'm not sure what they are. They weren't bits. I thought they were bits. What is a party? This is a new thing for me. Are those just emotes? Oh no, it was a cheer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not bits, cheer. Sorry, I misspoke. Chicken Meister with the bits. Thank you. They're bits. Cheers are bits. Thank you so much. It's like getting a present from someone at Christmas and going, "Ah, oh, this is fantastic. Thank you so much." What is it? They are bits you can send, bits they're themed as a fun thing. They were very fun, thank you. I will put that in fund towards getting a lens and getting a wireless keyboard, getting maybe a second monitor over here and an arm. We have lots of improvements to make on this stream, so I can like actually search things on a browser and then flip them in. Or just like the ability to use a keyboard. But a lot of it is tech stuff I actually have to buy. What were we talking about? Yoga. Yeah, so I'm doing yoga every day now. I don't know if I want to do a public weight chart, but it would keep me honest. Maybe I can do it in the Discord. I used to be so active, you know. That's the one thing about this job that's a little bit not so good. Like Dave often talks about how it's like so ergonomic and your body doesn't hurt and blah blah blah. There's no stress carving or printing. That's hyperbolic. It's not like that. There are stresses. There are some very if you're doing the same thing all day, every day, no matter how ergonomic something is, there are pains. And Dave's work was a little bit more when he was doing it like back in the day, a little bit more diverse. He'd do printing, he'd do carving, he'd then do stuff like that. But for me, it's carving, carving. Usually carving through lunch breaks, usually carving until midnight after everyone's gone to bed. You know, it's a lot of carving and you get some aches. Right now I've got a bit of a strange pain in my arch, which I've never had. I wore barefoot shoes for years and I've always been like hiking barefoot boots and everything. But I'm sitting with like my foot like doing this a lot. I'm starting to get pain in the arch of one of my feet. So that was sort of the hint that you got to get up and move. You got to stretch. I'm doing yoga every day now. Hype chest? What's a hype chest? What's this? What have I just initiated? Choo choo choo. Thank you. Do I just quick answer? There you go. He also has a much different carving posture since he has a microscope. Yeah, he's like right up here. For the most part, I'm okay. Um, Carving, not a problem. The problem is more so my feet. I don't like sitting with flat feet like this. I feel really rigid. So I tend to like put my feet on the side like this, or like I sit on one foot. Unlocked an emote for being on the hype train. Whoop whoop. Can you feel the hype with this jazzy music in the back? It's not the most hype music, is it? It's sort of jarring for the stream. With the moving thing as well, especially when I used to be in a kindergarten teacher. I'm so hyped. Said without an exclamation mark. You sound it. When I used to be a kindergarten teacher, I was the guy who, when we went to parks and stuff, you'd always have a couple teachers. And one of them would usually take a more standing back and looking role, and the other would be more actively playing often. Some teachers are different. Some teachers just don't like that. Some teachers are like really active. I was the guy who was always playing tag, so I was racking up like average between 20 and 30,000 steps a day when I was working in kindergarten. So just like constantly back and forth to the park, running around classrooms, just like doing everything. And now I think I average like on a good day 4,000, something like that. So it's a really big steep drop off. Taryn has the stamina to handle kids. I used to really enjoy that. Like I've always been like energetic. I'm a gambaru person. But like when I get home, I sit in and I can sit down for a long time and focus on things. But like when I start moving, I go, go, go. Like when I go for a run, I never go for a casual run. I always break myself because I won't run for a while. And then I'll just go like, all right, let's do a marathon. And go out and like bang in 30K or something like that. And then I'd just be broken for a couple days. And I was running a lot and I was like always exhausted. And like every single run was trying to beat like my 5K or beat my 10K. And there was no like many easy runs in there. But I did a competition with a guy from a school who was a big runner. And we did a month to see who could clock up the most. And the first 2 weeks, I was absolutely smashing him. I was like consistently more and quicker. But because like each run I was doing, I was trying to go for a PR and go further and further. I got injured and then he just tortoise and hare type thing, just like slowly caught up and passed me because I had to take a week off because I hurt my knee. So that's the kind of person I am. I'm just like bam, bam, bam. When I started my office job, I ran a lot, but lately I found weightlifting more helpful for my back and hips. Yeah. The problem with weightlifting is I find it incredibly dull. I know, it's really good. And if you're running like cross training and stuff with weightlifting, or even if you're cycling or whatever, you do some weightlifting along with any other activity. Fantastic. I just find it so incredibly dull. There was like a thing, maybe it was all over, or maybe it was just in. I was from a small village, and there's like you reach an age as a guy, and one guy starts going to the gym and he starts getting hench. Then everyone starts like, yeah, let's go gym, lads, let's go gym. And I went along to them and I did it and I participated, but I just found the whole thing incredibly dull in the gym. I just want to do like a sport. I used to do inline hockey, which is like basically ice hockey on rollerblades. I used to play rugby. I do climbing, and like I had, while I was in school, I had like 4 different sports activities, and I was also running and stuff as well. I'm 30 now, and you start to lose muscle mass after 30, I think, like naturally. And so I need to be more focused on doing stuff. Unfortunately, I find lifting weights really dull. The waiting in between sets as well, you know. If you're with someone, it's okay. And you can like shoot the shit. Did you ever play cricket? No, I never played cricket. Never really played racket sports. My sister was a very good tennis player and a good swimmer actually. My older sister. She was really good. If she'd have dedicated to that, she could have been a proper tennis player, I think. But I guess she's a bit ADHD and manic, and she got off that. A couple of years ago, I used to wheel 120k a month. Wow. On average, I'm pretty much a hermit. If I do 10 or 15, yeah, I understand your feeling. Get out. Let's all make. We could do something positive here. Collective responsibility. We could really shame each other if we don't do them. Any local sports clubs to join? Probably a local baseball club somewhere. Yeah, baseball is not for me. We don't have baseball in the UK. I don't even know the rules. I've been to 1 baseball game. So I won't be doing baseball. It seems incredibly dull. And I tried batting at one point and I was terrible at it. I do have something. Maybe you guys are going to laugh at this. I'll wait for the ads to end. Welcome back. Sorry. But Japanese folk seems to be more your style. So there is something I've been talking about, and I'm just gonna get on it and do it. I started following this guy on, was it Instagram? And I was like, oh, that's cool. I've been following him for a while, and so I've been suggesting to my partner, oh, let's do this. It's sort of jazz dance. You all think I'm this guy who's like obsessed with archaic things. I'm not, as a rule. Like I like printmaking, and a lot of my themed stuff is now like Taisho and Showa poi designs and stuff like that. But I like modern things too. But sort of that 90s Lindy pop, sort of go dancing, because it's neither of us have any experience with it. Like if we were to do something like volleyball, for example, like she was a really serious volleyball player and she'll be really competitive and I'll be really competitive in that. And some things that like maybe I'm really good at that she's not as good at, there might be like a little like playing on 2 different levels. And so I was trying to find something that we could do together that was like we can be a bit playful and have fun. So I think we're going to do a bit of that sort of Black Americana, Lindy pop sort of jazz dancing. You know, the ones where they spin them over the shoulder and stuff. There's a guy, I can't remember what the guy on Instagram is called. He's really, really good. Is it Alex something? Maybe some of you will have seen him. I think he's quite big on, or maybe it's just my algorithm. Anyway, I'm searching for classes and we're going to do some dance together. Is this carved leather burning on the back, or is it ink? This is carving wood. So this is a wood block. This is mountain cherry glue to ply. I was Woodblock, I figured it out. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't quick enough. The black stuff you're seeing is just a really thin layer of paper. The color of the wood tricked me. Yeah, it does actually look quite a lot like leather, actually. Especially when you see these sort of like lighter and darker patches, it looks like it's been varnished, right? The only issue with the dancing is there's a couple of like, it's kind of a niche dancing thing. I don't want to do any like hip hop dancing and stuff. Dancing's a big thing in Japan, but I'm not really interested in any of that. But I think this would be really fun to do. Um, but there's a couple places. There's one called Tokyo Swing Society, and there's another called Lindy Pop. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lindy Pop Dance Studio. And I think the Tokyo Swing Society is kind of a big thing. But it's a little bit far from us. It's like an hour and a half to get there. And like getting him to bed at like 7:30, and then getting out and asking grandparents to look after him. It's all a little bit tricky. And I want something we can do weekly together. I'll figure it out. Cycling a lot. I encourage everyone here to move, no matter what mode of movement. It feels good. You get in better shape, all that. True. Move. I've got to be better at like taking not breaks, but just like a couple minutes to like stretch out. I'm really enjoying. I used to be really into yoga, and I'm feeling a lot better. The first week is always a little stiff, especially if you're doing like quite intensive flow or like power yoga. But I used to do a lot. I used to have a really good like sort of daily practice. And every year I did the yoga with Adrian 30-day challenge. I'd done that for well, years I've been doing that. But I missed my first one last year. I didn't do the 30-day challenge last year or this year. So I'm enjoying getting back into doing that. And I get to stretch my back, stretch my wrists. No, I only need one wheelchair, thinking about getting another just in case this one breaks. Wow, 5 to 7,000 to spare, that's a lot. No, I guess it makes sense, but that seems a lot. Maybe we can do sponsored, what they call charity streams, to try and get you a sports wheelchair out here when I get a few more followers. If I can do some more streams and build this community, we'll do something for you. Try and get you an active, get you back out doing some sports and stuff. Ooh. Payday. My emailing. Do we have any dancers in chat? Anyone done any dancing? The only, apart from flexing at the club, the only dancing I did was we one time had a salsa teacher come to our school, and then we thought it'd be funny to go and join like one of their normal classes. They invited us along, so we went. We must have been like 16 or 17 here. We went to do a salsa class with middle-aged people. It's quite fun. I've done modern, African, and silly club dancing. You used to like modern as in contemporary. What do you call it? Contemporary dance? The one where someone's doing a spoken word poem and you're interpreting the vibes from it. I'm not making fun of you, by the way. I like dancing. I think it's good. My friend is a really good dancer, and he does like videos on YouTube and stuff. He has this thing called Bless the Bridges, and he was living in Holland, and he was going around to all these bridges and just doing like dances on the bridges. Which I thought was a great concept, but it's just fun to see like your old roommate just going around Holland dancing on some bridges. He's got no shame in public. Not a swimmer or a dancer, but I like hiking and bicycle riding. Um, Hiking, yeah. Have I told you about the Hyakume-san? Hiking's great. I love hiking, especially when you live in Tokyo. Like it's been really kind of essential for me in like staying grounded and happy. Hiking's been huge for me. Modern dance is a thing that you can take classes in. I guess you could get into long distance activities as if you're cycling. Hiking in Japan was amazing. Highly recommend. Yeah. Um, Sometimes it can feel a little. Well, I guess it's the same in the UK. It feels like a little bit on railroads. It's not like going walkabout in Australia, for example. Just like there's this definite path, but the scenery is completely amazing. Some of the bigger mountains, like my favorite mountain I did was Shiromadake. And if you ever get a chance to go hiking and you like proper mountains, we often reminisce about our time in Shiroma. It was our favorite mountain we've done so far. And actually, when the day we went up Shiruma, we did I tell you I saved someone's life? I don't know how, I'm gonna probably repeat a bunch of stories here. I don't know if I've shared any of these stories with you. I've only been doing it 2 months. I imagine how Dave feels. Like years of just like feeling like you're repeating the same stories. Anyway, it was super windy when we went up Shiruma. It's a mountain in Japan. It's in Nagano on the Northern Alps, is it? And it was really, really windy. It was like wind to the level we're thinking we have to turn back now because this is kind of nuts. On the last like 25% of it, you came over this ridge and it was just you're just standing like that, and it's difficult to walk. Like I was okay, but Diana's quite a bit lighter than me, and I felt like she was gonna go. We had to like crouch behind rocks when the big gusts came. It was coming over the top, right over this, like, it's 2,000 plus meters, and then it was just like scooping down this valley and wanting to shoot you off. And there were actually, I think, two people either got rescued or maybe even lost their lives. I know two people got injured when we went up there. And I saved someone's life on that. So it wasn't the first day, it was the second day. We stayed in a cabin at the top of Shiroma. And we're just walking down the ridge. There's a couple of like narrow sections with sheer drops going down one side. And this woman sort of stood there. She had a big bag on. A gust of wind came and she just sort of stumbled towards the edge. And I just grabbed her like that. Her husband was on the other side of like this narrow section with the sheer drop. And she just stumbles and sort of like trips on a grass and is like heading towards the edge. And I grab her and I like pull her down to sit down on the ground. She was just close to me. She was sort of like falling into me. I'm not like a massive hero, but she was like, she just didn't sort of react to it. It was nuts. And she was just like, oh, arigato gozaimasu. I was like, hi, kiyotsukete ne. And then just carried on walking. And her husband was like, arigato. You nearly died, woman. Can you have a bit more of a reaction than that? Honestly, she nearly died. And in fact, I'm pretty sure a couple people did die on that same day or the day after. So don't take it lightly. It was quite early in the season. The winter is like serious business going up Shiroma, and it's like kind of late into the spring season that it's passable because of snow. There's a glacier that you climb up at one point as well, which is when we went, it was kind of really misty and walking sticks essential. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you need proper ice spikes as well. I only had micro studs going up this glacier, and in the mist, it's kind of disorientating because it's like really steep ice as well. You need both poles. Ayano wouldn't buy her own poles. She wouldn't take poles. She was like, has kashi. So when she got onto this glacier, we both kind of underestimated um, how intense this glacier was going to be. I had little micro spikes. She had proper crampons, but she didn't have any poles. So we had one pole each, and I had these little micro spikes. And you're in the mist, and you kind of can't get your balance very well because you can't see very far in front of you or very far behind you. I can just see her behind me, and like maybe a silhouette of a guy a little bit in front of me, but then nothing else on this glacier that's going like this. And it's like, you got to keep your wits about you. Got to keep your wits about you. Oh, take care, Vivid. See you soon. What time are we on? Oh, we're coming towards the end. That all being said, it's an incredible hike, and I think you should do it. But maybe do it later in the season. We did it like the first week. It was sort of open. after the winter season. My spikes were not ideal. It's one of the Hyakume-san, which are the 100 famous mountains of Japan. I think I bought her a book a little while ago, like an antique of this book, and sort of proposed we give this a go, try and complete them all in our life. And I think we've got maybe like 15. Shiro Uma Dake. Sometimes it's called Hakuba. Shiro Uma Dake. Or Hakuba Sanso. Hakuba. There is a YouTuber. What's her name? Currently Hannah. She because when I was researching the mountain, I found her video. She's got a really nice video of going up there, and she went at a beautiful time. Like the sun's out, and she's got beautiful drone shots. Check it out. Mount Shiroma, yeah. So it means white horse. I think it's like an old kanji. I think the modern pronunciation is Hakuba. The area is now known as Hakuba. But the mountain, it's still known as Shiromadake. Yeah, how many have we done? We've done 2, 3, maybe around 15. I think I've done 2 more than her. But so far, I think Shiroma, and then the one in Aomori, we went on a birthday trip to Aomori, which is in the very north of the main island of Japan, the Honshu Island. And there's a famous mountain there. What's it called? Hodo-san? No. Maybe that one starts with H as well. Can't remember the name of it. A very big one. We did that one as well. So yeah, I'm getting back into being active again. Anything around Kamakura? Not really. I think maybe there's a couple if you go a little bit more west from Kamakura. I think there's like 1 or 2. Mount Iwaki, yeah. Yeah. But most of the smaller mountains and stuff around Tokyo, a lot of them, especially in the Okutama region, I've done most around here. Because I also used to do like trail running, and the ones we've done together, I had a chance, I'd go run up them. All to say, I used to be very active, and now I'm 30 and getting fat and not happy about it. So we're on a fitness thing. Keep me honest. Have I ever hiked Mount Fuji? No. I did have when you go out drinking, grandiose plans get formed. I went out drinking with Asuka Sensei, and he said he'd never hiked Mount Fuji. So we sort of made a plan. Before he gets too old, let's do Mount Fuji together, which I think would make a very fun video. First world problems, what, getting fat, sitting down comfortably eating chocolate and getting fat. Bucket list. Yeah. My understanding is that Mount Fuji is not a very interesting hike. It's sort of all the same. Bum bum bum. Just climbing up shale and just long. It's big. Something a bit blasé about. Very crowded too. Yeah. I really want to do it, but I haven't like rushed out to do it. It's not one of my top ones. Something like Shiruma, I would recommend that a lot more. Obviously, I haven't done Mount Fuji though. On my first trip to Japan, I think we went to one of the bases, one of the stations. I mean, I've been on it, but I've never hiked up it. But I think it would be fun to go up with Asuka Sensei and just sort of have discussions about prints and stuff on the way and film a bunch of it and edit it down into a short video. I think that'd be a lot of fun. There's a few high profile mishaps recently. Yeah. Maybe if this channel gets big enough one day, we can do a Mount Fuji meet and greet. Organize a sort of Ginkgo Hanga hiking thing. Might be a nice crossover. We've got ads coming in 2.5 minutes. Then after that, I think we'll do a little bit of a closing. I think that's good for today. You might enjoy a day or two hiking around Mount Fuji. It's a beautiful view. I've done a bit of hiking around Mount Fuji, like walking from Kawaguchi around there. I've done some camping around Kawaguchi, so I've done a bit of walking. Unfortunately, my camping gear is sort of set up for, we call it auto camp in Japan. I don't know if that's a word that's used commonly. A lot of my kits, my camping tent and stuff, it's not ultralight or anything like that. It'd be very difficult to take on my back. I've got a list of trekking supplies I want to get. It's actually just on the wall there. There we go. Here's my camping wish list. I'll get them one day. They're all quite expensive though. This is the one I want most. The Omega 56. There's this guy, French dude, who lives in Nagano, I think. And he makes these handmade framed hiking bags. And they're really, really cool. And I taught a class at Asuka Sensei's before to this guy. Maybe I shouldn't say his name, but I taught a class to this guy, and he lives around Nagano as well. And he's a really big hiker. And I think we were planning this spring actually to go for a hike together. I haven't been for a hike with him yet. Yeah, I'll plan that. I'll get that done. But he's friends with this guy, and he had one of these bags. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But really, really cool bag. What kind of boots do you have? I have the Vivo Barefoot Forest Trekkers ESC, something like that. I love them. They're really good. There's a certificate for cycling around Lake Biwa. Eh. I have like hippy dippy tendencies. I was nearly born in a teepee. Well, I basically was. So I kind of like barefoot and stuff like that. I think we'll leave it there. Hey, today was fun. It felt a lot different from last stream. You probably won't see this block again. Take a quick last look. We got a little bit clearing done. Not super effective. I should be able to finish this off stream today. And I'll get a test print done, and then I guess Monday morning be doing the color transfers and pasting it in. There's a chance you'll see me doing a color block. Viva Barefoot, never heard of it. Looks nice. I love Viva Barefoot. They're very expensive though. But my previous pair of Viva Barefoot, I had a pair of shoes like every 3 years. I guess they last me. But these boots, they're going to last me years and years. And I can replace the soles. They can do everything. So it's really good. Look into them. They're cool. Take it easy. Start slow with them. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I've been enjoying listening to jazz. I'm liking this new meta. Puncture? Never. No. I really like them. I actually bought a bunch for all my sisters because I'm kind of a fan. Right. That's all. Should we check if there's a raid? Let's have a look. Stream manager. Just quickly check. I don't want to spend ages and ages on this. Chilling cozy. Spinning stream. Anyone into knitting and spinning? Yeah, whatever, let's do it. If you don't like it, you can leave. Someone's making something, so let's check it out. I think it's someone making like little knitting and spinning, making yarn. If you're interested, check it out. I will see you all next Tuesday. Perhaps some gorilla streams in the meantime. I'll have a think. Thanks for today. Today was a nice chat. I'll see you guys soon, and yoroshiku ne. Bye bye.